Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a first impressions video for you on a knife that I have to admit, guys, I was a little remiss on. I saw this knife, I took a look at it, you know, when we did their big marketing blitz, and I just didn't pull the trigger. I kind of thought it looks compelling, but I want to say when I first saw it, I thought it was a little small for me. It wasn't until I watched a review somewhere that I was like, wait a second, that knife's 8 inches? I didn't realize, and it's got 3.5-inch blade. Wait a second, this could be something really, really cool. And so I was finally able to get one thanks to Justin over at White Mountain Knives. Go over there, use my discount code SHARPSTUFF. Definitely helps the channel if you do that. By the way, I'll put a link in the description box. So the knife we have here is the 818 Streak with green G10, stonewash satin finish, and Bowler M390 on the blade. So let me go ahead and get this out for you, and through the magic of the fact that I opened this box earlier and got the knife out, you can take a look at it right here, right now. So there it is, the WE 618. Now, I have to tell you guys, I'm pretty attracted to this knife. I find it to be a very interesting, compelling, you know, simple, yet I don't know, it's a really nice combination of being clean and simple, which I definitely am drawn to, but having enough small detail that it sort of catches the eye and draws a little bit of attention. I do like the color scheme here with the blue and green, and of all the blade options that are available, this is absolutely my favorite one. This has got stonewash on the flats and satin. Now, I will say the green color here, I could take other colors as well. I think this one looks particularly good, but there are a couple of other options available as well. So there's the knife, and I've got to say, guys, now that I've got this knife in hand and I've been able to flip it and, you know, kind of have just that opportunity to sort of check it out a little, guys, I maybe should have included this knife on my best knives of 2018. It is that good. It feels great in hand. The blade is fantastic. It's really attractive. It's a good, I mean, look guys, there's a lot to love here. So let me do a quick rundown on materials and features and size and weight and all that kind of stuff. So up front here, we have a Bowler M390 blade. Fairly thin blade stock on this, which means this knife is quite thin behind the edge. It's going to slice like crazy. Of course, M390 is a great steel, so you're going to get a blade that not only is going to hold an edge for a long time, but even if as it starts to dull, you're going to get better performance from a thinner edge geometry than you will from a thicker one. So fantastic work on this blade. Moving down here, we have a liner lock, and those are nested liners, which is really, really nice to see. We've got the typical WE ceramic bearing system in here, and WE does a great job, generally speaking, and this is no exception. The action on this is very, very much dialed in. Now, this is right out of box. I haven't broken it in. I haven't cleaned, oiled, nothing like that. And you can see this is quite good. So I can only imagine how good this action will be given a little bit of time, and I will update you on that when we do the full review. We have nicely anodized hardware here in blue, anodized pocket clip as well, again in blue. Now, I do like the fact that it is stonewash here because, you know, pocket clip is where you're going to get, you know, rubbing on stuff and running into stuff. So making it a little bit distressed in the beginning is nice. And then of course we've got the green G10 liners, G10 backspacer, lanyard hole. So that's a quick rundown just of how this thing is put together and the features that it has. Let me give you size and weight here. 8 1/8 inches overall. So it's just a hair over 8 inches long. And that's my measurement. I noticed a few websites listed at 8 inches. So I guess those numbers must be just kind of nominal, but it is just a little over 8 inches. The blade is pretty much right on 3.5 inches. And this guy is 4 5/8 inches closed. So not a huge package when you're carrying it. Only 3.8 ounces, so nicely under 4 ounces there, which again is quite comfortable to carry. Now, the one area here that's a little, I don't know, interesting to me that I wasn't expecting, this knife is over a 1/2 inch thick. So not a lot, only about like a 32nd over, but nonetheless, it's over. So pretty hand-filling knife. Now, let me move on to say, very, very comfortable in hand. And when I do a full review of this knife, my mind is racing, filling up with all of the knives that this knife ought to be compared to, but Number 1 on the list and number 2 on the list are absolutely the Para 2 and the American Lawman. And if you've been around this channel for any length of time, you know that I consider those to be some of the best everyday carry knives out there. And so even the fact that this knife is bringing those to my mind as comparisons and as a knife that can really kind of do well against those, that I think tells you an awful lot about what I think of this knife out of box. As I say, I literally took this out of the box, you know, a half an hour before making this video. So I haven't had enough time to know if there's some glaring issue that's going to raise its ugly head in a few days. But at this point, color me very, very impressed. So what are my initial thoughts about this knife? Well, guys, I've got to tell you, I may be holding a nearly perfect EDC knife. This may be the next knife that goes on my list of sort of most recommended knives, where if someone says, hey, I'm looking for a good EDC, you know, I'm going to give them the usual, the American Lawman, Para 2, Mannix, but then this guy is going to be right in there. The price on this is like $146, and that's on Blade HQ today, which is, you know, early January 2019. That, you know, that could be subject to change if you're watching this video in 5 years. What you should do is go and look at my full review, because then you'll know what I really ended up thinking about this. But that's actually pretty decent in terms of price point, because we've got M390 steel here. We've got ceramic bearing action here, which is really, really nice. And, you know, comparables, you know, the Para 2 is $140. And I really, really think as I'm kind of looking at this knife, as I'm talking to you guys, I think when we was putting this together, they were really aiming at the Para 2. They were thinking, let's make a knife that can really be a contender and can go up against the Paramilitary 2. And I think they have really come close. So maybe we'll have to do a full comparison. In fact, let's just say after I get my review done, that'll give me enough time to really get to know this knife. I will also do a full comparison video between this and the Paramilitary 2. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you already have one, if you beat me to the punch, you know, if you clued in to the fact that this was a great knife even before I did, let me know your thoughts down below in the description box. Again, go check the description box as well. If you want to buy one, go to White Mountain Knives. You get 10% off using Sharp Stuff Kit from over there. Also, you know, let me know what other knives you would like to see compared to this, because I really feel like this is one of the better EDC contenders out there. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will talk to you soon.